Hello planning mashers and welcome back to the channel. Today we are setting up February in my bullet journal and I hope you enjoyed the theme that I picked. And if you're new here, my name is Masha and I'm creating videos on bullet journaling, doodling, creativity, so be sure to subscribe and hit the notification bell so you always know when I release a new video. Okay, let's get planning. Okay, so here's what I will be using. It's my art journal journal. I really wanted to use some of my notepads. I also will be using white acrylograph pen and the golden one. There will be some fine liners and my Tombow adhesive. More details on all the supplies are in the description. Okay, so I had a huge plan of creating an incredible rose-themed monthly setup, but my plan was kind of based on some supplies that were coming, but they still haven't arrived. So I kind of had to rethink it right away, and I have been really enjoying my kind of minimal style that I've been using lately. And I also really wanted to incorporate the golden acrylograph pen, which I got from Valentine's box. So I kind of decided to just use tons of different paper instead of colors. And as for colors, to just use black, white, and gold. So I really don't know how to name this theme. I guess like a minimal craft paper scrapbooky theme, something like that. I don't know. If you have a good name for this one, let me know in the comments. I must apologize, there will be a lot of moving around with this theme because, well, acrylograph pens are paint-based pens, which means that they kind of need some time to dry, and it's really easy to smudge them before they dried. So I kind of had to move my journal a lot. And also a thing I didn't realize is that my ruler actually picked up some of the paint from the pen and kind of smudged it a bit. So I wanted these to just be very thin color lines, but because of the smudge and I kind of had to cover it up somehow, well, now these are thick lines. I'm really not complaining because for me the more gold the better, because that pen just looks amazing. I don't think the camera does justice. But yeah, so in case you guys are going to be using your acrylograph pens, just a little tip, really be careful and wait for it to dry. So this month I'm trying something a little bit different with my calendar. I finally got tired of my tiny little calendar and I decided to create a larger one. There you go. That's a much larger calendar. Still, it's gonna occupy just half of the page, but I felt like I simply just had to do it. February is such a perfect month. 4 perfect weeks. I mean, come on. They do deserve more space. And I kind of added some black paper there in the corner to cover one part, even though it's a tiny one, but still it's gonna cover part of the calendar, so I actually can kind of add a little bit of a variety and use a white pen on top of it. Now you'll see that with this theme I actually have to draw a lot of lines, and when it comes to lines I am really bad at it. Like, they're always wonky and I always draw them too short or too long. So you will see that I use a white Sakura Jelly Roll pen a lot to cover up all the mistakes I made while drawing my lines. I think the most obvious one you'll see in my habit tracker. But yeah, just a little bit of white gel pen and it covers everything perfectly. And the rest of the page for my monthly log will just be my to-do list, I kind of forgot that I usually have a separate area for my content plan, and well, I'll just edit off camera later. But yeah, I added some more craft paper just to play around and add a little bit more variety to the page. But generally, it's all pretty basic. Except for I decided to kind of add a little bit more gold here than I did on the cover page. And oh my god, you guys, I am so in love with this. And then I decided to just kind of add a little bit of a shadow for more dimension for the calendar. I don't know, I guess with this theme I'm kind of digging different types of lines, and yeah, I don't know, I really like how it came out. So the next page is for my trackers, and as always I have my habit tracker and my mood tracker together on one page. I also picked up a few new habits in January. I tried to start exercising, I'm doing a little bit of yoga, and I'm also starting to coming back to meditating. So altogether that kind of added up to quite a few habits, and I wanted to have a little bit of a larger tracker than I usually do. So I went with a vertical tracker. It's been my favorite for a very long time. It's so convenient to track like a lot of habits if you have a vertical tracker. And because this is kind of a short month, so I had enough space for a huge header and everything before I had to go and actually do all the table for my habits. You will notice that on the right side there's also a tiny little table, and this is my mood tracker. Now the good thing is that I have been tracking my moods since March last year, and I've been using the same colors every month. So I actually don't need a key or anything like that. I already know exactly which colors stand for what, and that actually saved me quite a lot of space on this page. I know that usually the colors I'm using are zebra line liners, and they really don't fit this theme, but one month, I think it was in June, I actually tried to use different colors, some colors that would fit better with the theme, and even though it looked better, it really did not work that well for me from the practical standpoint. Like, I did not get all the benefits I usually get from my mood tracker because it was kind of annoying to always check what color, and that I look at my mood tracker and I don't really see how were my moods because I have to check everything with the new colors. So yeah, that's kind of a little sacrifice I make for the sake of actually getting the most out of my mood tracker. And that's kind of an important thing, you know. It's really great to have a beautiful journal, but in the end, it's all about your journal helping you. So, you know, just do whatever works for you. Of course, I had to have my gratitude log, and that's kind of a thing I really like about this theme, is that gratitude log didn't really look as empty and lonely as it usually does when you're just setting it up, because the whole point of gratitude log is for you to have like all the space in the world so you can later fill it out with your gratitudes. And I always find that this is kind of like the most boring and the saddest page in my bullet journal because it just looks so empty before you start filling it out. But I think that because I use these different types of pens and at a different type of paper, even the gratitude log essentially an empty page kind of looks nice. While I'm finishing that up, just want to say thank you to everyone who is supporting me on Patreon. You guys are amazing. I'm always so happy to create things for you, and you really help Masha plans to move forward. And in case you want to join our Patreon family, all the links will be in the description. We would be so glad to see you there. New page I'm trying this month is a morning routine page. Now, morning routine is something I loved doing when I was living in China, and I have had my same routine for several years, but it's something I have been struggling with when I moved to Bolivia with everything what was happening, and then COVID hit and I got stuck in the US. So really, I feel like I didn't have a chance to establish any kind of routine. But this month, I'm finally getting back to kind of being myself, and I start doing some things in the morning and kind of creating, or at least going back to being a little bit more consistent with a morning routine. So I thought I might as well just create a morning routine page, kind of to see if it's gonna work for me, if this is the routine that I need right now. And I don't know, I feel like when future me will look back in my bullet journal and see this morning routine, she'll be like, oh yeah, I remember, I used to do that. Maybe I should start doing that again, or something like that. I just love creating extra pages that kind of keep me motivated or help me just to put my thoughts and my processes to the paper. This month it's a morning routine. If you're looking to create a morning routine for yourself, I have a huge blog post with tons of inspirations, so I will link it in the description. Be sure to check that out because, oh my god, morning routines are really such an amazing tool. So I hope you guys like this setup. If you don't have yours yet, I do have a printable February setup in my shop. I will link it in the description, and I will see you in the next video. Keep bullet journaling and don't be a blob. Bye!